The social media company TikTok is coming under increasing pressure around the world as its links to the Chinese Communist Party are being scrutinised. Former leader of the Conservative Party and MP Ian Duncan Smith warned that the Chinese company behind TikTok, ByteDance, was as much of a threat to Britain as Huawei. Boris Johnson decided to ban Huawei from the UK's 5G infrastructure earlier this month after pressure from his own MPs. Last month, India banned TikTok along with a series of Chinese apps, whilst US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the US is considering taking similar actions against the social media site.
Well, people are concerned about TikTok simply because its parent company, ByteDance, is a big Chinese company. And the issue with that is that China's got very strict rules on what it does with its big companies. Firstly, every major Chinese company must have an internal Chinese Communist Party committee of its staff who get indoctrinated, who have to talk about their experiences and similar things. And of course, ByteDance has one of these committees. If you, in fact, look on the internet, you'll find lovely pictures of them meeting and being inspired by communist ideology. The second problem is that China has a domestic law which states that any Chinese company has to comply with a request by the Chinese state to provide data or anything for that matter that the Chinese state wants, if that request is made. Now, the issue here is that TikTok, of course, itself says it's not a Chinese company, but its parent company is a Chinese company. Its source and its coding originate in China. So the real problem is, how can TikTok protect its data integrity if the Chinese government makes such a request? And the answer is it can't. So when it comes to the question of banning TikTok, I'm not sure that countries will go necessarily for an outright ban in the style that India has recently done, because that's quite a draconian measure, and you're saying to all your sort of domestic users that you may not use this app. I think what will happen is much along the lines of US sanctions you've seen in the past with Huawei, looking at sanctioning equipment or access for certain companies coming into a market. And I would imagine in the US case, there will be sanctions that look to prevent either the Apple Store or Google Play Store from stocking TikTok, and you'll have an effective ban that way. And I would imagine that is how sanctions will unfold, essentially across the world, seeing as most people use those two app stores as their main function, or indeed the Amazon App Store as a third party. So I would imagine that the way this will roll out is through a sanctioned approach that will have the effect of preventing TikTok from being used in many countries.